the 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Without a mint mark is a classic coin from the World War II. Soder fra dan tiwer ear, and part of the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909. The absence of a mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which produced a very large number of these coins that year. In total, over 657 million 1942 pennies were made in Philadelphia alone, making this issue one of the most common wheat pennies of the early 1940s. Because of this high mintage, most examples found today are considered ordinary unless they have special qualities like high mint state grade or an unusual minting error. The obverse of the coin shows the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse side carries the traditional wheat ears design, featuring two stylized wheat stalks framing the denomination 1 cent. The motto, E pluribus unum, appears above, with United States of America below. Over time, these coins develop a warm brown or reddish tone depending on how they were stored and circulated. Since this 1942 penny is described as being in dirty condition with some scratches, it would be categorized as a heavily circulated coin. Dirt, discoloration, and scratches are signs that the coin has been handled by many people over the decades. In such condition, most of the original luster has faded, and some details in Lincoln's hair and coat are likely worn smooth. Despite this, many collectors still appreciate the historical value of a 1942 wheat penny, as it represents an important time in American history when the country was involved in World War II and metal resources were carefully managed. In today's coin market, a 1942 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark in heavily circulated or dirty condition typically holds a small collector value. Most dealers and collectors would price such a coin between $300,000 depending on its appearance. If it shows better detail and less damage, the value could rise slightly, but in general, worn and scratched examples remain close to face value. However, there are a few special varieties and errors from 1942 that can make the coin more valuable. Some pennies from that year show doubling on the date or lettering known as doubled die errors, and these can sell for several dollars or more if easily visible. There are also off-center strikes and die cracks that can raise the value, especially if the coin still shows clear date and design features. Collectors sometimes pay extra for coins with interesting toning or unusual planchet flaws as well. If you have a 1942 wheat penny like this one, it's best to leave it as it is and avoid cleaning it, since cleaning can scratch the surface and reduce any remaining collector value. While this particular example in dirty and scratched condition is not rare, it still has a bit of historical charm as a genuine pre-1959 Lincoln wheat cent. Even though its cash value is small, it serves as a piece of American history from over 80 years ago, when every cent truly mattered during wartime. Next up, the 1927 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the D mint mark is a classic coin that holds real historical and collector value. This coin was minted at the Denver Mint nearly a century ago, and while millions were produced, far fewer have survived in collectible condition today. The D mint mark, located just below the date on the obverse side, identifies that it came from the Denver facility. Coins from this mint tend to be a bit scarcer than those from Philadelphia, especially when they've been well preserved over the years. A 1927 D wheat penny in fine condition shows moderate wear across Lincoln's portrait and the lettering. The word Liberty and the date are still readable, and the wheat ears on the reverse side remain visible, though flattened from circulation. Fine condition means it was used in everyday commerce, and scratches are common from handling and contact with other coins. Despite these marks, it still retains a strong antique appeal. The 1927 D penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which gives it the warm reddish-brown tone collectors appreciate. Over time, many of these coins have darkened or developed a soft brown patina. The coin's design, by Victor David Brenner, features Abraham Lincoln on the front and two wheat stalks on the back. symbolizing prosperity and strength. This design remained on the penny until 1958, making the wheat cents a nostalgic favorite among coin enthusiasts. In today's coin market, a 1927 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition with some scratches typically sells for around $400,000, depending on overall eye appeal and color. Heavier scratches or dark spots can lower the value slightly, while coins with sharp details and original color may attract higher offers. Collectors are willing to pay more if the coin shows good clarity in Lincoln's features and minimal damage. Although it isn't one of the rarest dates in the Wheat Penny series, the 1927 is still sought after by collectors completing full Lincoln cent sets. In higher grades, such as extremely fine or uncirculated, the value increases sharply, sometimes reaching $450,000 or more for coins certified by grading services. Mint state examples are especially hard to find, because most 1927 pennies circulated heavily through the Great Depression years. If your 1927 penny has some scratches, but remains clearly readable and attractive overall, it still has collectible worth. It's always best not to clean it, as cleaning can remove its original surface and reduce value. Instead, store it in a protective coin holder or a soft plastic flip to prevent further wear. Many collectors enjoy keeping coins like this for their historical significance rather than pure value. So while a 1927 wheat penny in fine condition may not be worth a fortune, it's a genuine piece of early 20th century American history. Its modest copper shine and connection to the Lincoln legacy make it a meaningful addition to any coin collection, especially for those who appreciate vintage U.S. coinage. Next up, the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a classic collectible coin from the post-war era of the United States. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark under the date. Millions of these coins were produced that year, making the 1948 penny a common but historically meaningful piece of American coinage. Even though it may not be rare, its age and design still attract collectors, especially those who love the traditional wheat reverse design that was used from 1909 to 1958. In 1948, the United States was moving into a period of recovery and growth after World War II. The Lincoln cent continued to feature the same design that had been used since 1909, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and two wheat ears framing the words 1 cent on the back. This design was created by Victor David Brenner and is now one of the most iconic images in U.S. coin history. Because the Philadelphia Mint produced over 317 million of these coins, most 1948 wheat pennies are still found in circulation, change jars, or old family collections. When describing your 1948 wheat penny as being in good condition, it means the coin has seen plenty of circulation. The details of Lincoln's face are heavily worn. The rims may be flat in some places, and the lettering could be faint. Despite this wear, all the major details, such as the date and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," should still be visible. Having some scratches is normal for coins this old, especially those that were used in everyday transactions for decades. In today's market, a 1948 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in good condition typically has a value of about $300,000 to $350,000. Some dealers or collectors might pay a little more if the coin has attractive color or no major damage beyond normal wear. It's not a coin that usually brings high prices, but it's still appreciated for its history and the sentimental value it holds for those who collect older U.S. coins. If the coin were in higher grades such as fine, very fine, or extremely fine, its value might rise slightly, often ranging from 10 to 20 cents. In uncirculated or mint state condition, with sharp details and no signs of wear, a 1948 Philadelphia wheat penny could be worth between $400,000 and $1. The most valuable examples are those graded and certified by professional services like PCGS or NGC. especially if they show original red luster or exceptional preservation. While your coin in good condition with some scratches is considered a common piece, it's still a nice example of post-war American coinage. Every collector starts with coins like this. Simple, honest pieces that tell a story of a time when pennies had real buying power. Keeping it safe in a small coin holder or plastic flip can help preserve it from further damage. Over time, it may not grow much in value, but it remains a worthy part of any Lincoln Wheat Penny collection. 2009, the United States Mint released a special series of Lincoln 1-cent coins to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Each of the 4 designs represented a different chapter in his life. Birth and early childhood in Kentucky, formative years in Indiana, professional life in Illinois, and presidency in Washington, D.C. The Denver Mint produced millions of these coins, all carrying the small D mint mark under the date. Even though billions were made, collectors still keep an eye on the 2009 D Lincoln cents because some pieces can hold surprising value due to condition or minting errors. A coin graded as fine condition means it has been in circulation and shows noticeable wear. The details of Lincoln's hair and coat may be worn smooth, but the major features of his face, lettering, and date remain clear and readable. It is not a shiny or mint-state coin, but still keeps its full design visible. Many people discover such coins in pocket change or old jars and wonder if they are worth keeping. The answer depends on small details, and that is where knowledge becomes valuable. In today's market, a normal 2009 D Lincoln cent in fine condition is generally worth only face value, about 1 cent. Some collectors might pay $1,000 more, maybe up to 50 cents, for a nicely preserved coin with good eye appeal and little discoloration. Because these coins were struck in large quantities, the supply remains far greater than the demand, which keeps ordinary prices very low. However, the story changes completely when a coin shows a mint error or a rare variation. Certain 2009 D Lincoln cents were struck with doubled die features. That means during minting, the design was impressed twice slightly off-center, creating a visible doubling on the letters, numbers, or parts of the design. These doubled die errors are among the most popular types of collectible mistakes. Other errors include off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, or missing parts of the design. When these errors are visible and significant, they can transform an ordinary penny into a valuable find. Depending on the type and visibility of the error, a 2009 D penny in fine condition could sell anywhere from $140,000 to several $100s to the right collector. High-end examples in mint state condition, meaning they were never used in circulation and remain sharp and shiny, have reached impressive prices at auction. Some of these flawless 2009 D Lincoln cents, graded MS-68 by PCGS, have sold for around $4,700, showing the dramatic difference between circulated and uncirculated coins. But remember, a fine-grade coin cannot reach that level because its surface wear limits the value. Still, even a circulated coin can surprise collectors when a rare minting mistake appears. When evaluating your 2009 D Lincoln cent, first check which of the 4 designs you have. Each one has its own collector following. Then look closely at the surfaces under good light or with a magnifying glass. If you see any doubling, cracks, missing parts, or strange edges, take clear photos. Never clean the coin, because cleaning removes the natural surface and can lower its value dramatically. Compare your coin to images on trusted collector websites or price guides to see if your piece matches any known error types. If you suspect your coin is special, you can ask for opinions on online coin forums or have it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS, NGC, or ANAX. These companies can confirm whether the coin truly has an error and assign a grade that collectors trust. For common fine condition coins, grading is not necessary, but for any suspected error, certification can help you get the best possible price if you decide to sell. Selling coins requires a bit of research. Check completed listings on eBay to see what similar 2009 D pennies have sold for. You may notice that ordinary circulated coins sell for a few cents, while error examples can bring much higher amounts. Some dealers who specialize in error coins may pay more than general collectors, especially if the mistake is dramatic and visible to the naked eye. Always provide clear, close-up photographs when selling online so buyers can see every detail. Even though the typical 2009 D Lincoln cent in fine condition is worth only a cent or two, these coins hold historical charm. They remind us of the year America celebrated Lincoln's legacy and the artistry of coin design. Every collector starts somewhere, and finding one of these coins in circulation is a good entry point into the hobby. It teaches you how to look closely, compare details, and understand grading. You may even discover that you enjoy searching for those hidden minting errors that transform small coins into treasures. So, the most valuable 2009 D Lincoln 1 cent coin in fine condition today would be one showing a clear and dramatic error. Something unusual that sets it apart from the billions of normal strikes. In the current market, such an error coin could fetch anywhere between $1,000 depending on its uniqueness and appeal. A normal example without errors will remain close to face value. Still, every coin tells a story, and the 2009 D Lincoln cent stands as a lasting tribute to Abraham Lincoln's life and to American history itself. Keep checking your pocket change. Your next valuable find could be hiding in plain sight. Next up, the 1961 Lincoln 1 cent coin with the D mint mark was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the most active mints of the early 1960s. This coin belongs to the long-running Lincoln Wheat and Memorial Cent series, showing the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design that started in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's iconic birth. The Denver Mint struck over 1 billion of these coins in 1961, which makes them fairly common in circulation. However, coin collectors still enjoy owning high-grade examples that preserve the beauty and sharpness of this classic design. A coin. Described as being in extremely fine condition means it has been lightly circulated and shows only minor signs of wear. On a 1961 D Lincoln cent in this grade, most of the fine details of Lincoln's hair, face, and coat remain visible, and the lettering and date appear sharp. You might notice small scratches or slight dullness on the high points, but overall, the coin still has a nice appearance and strong eye appeal. The presence of a few scratches does reduce its value slightly, yet the coin remains collectible because of its relatively high grade for a circulated piece. In today's market, a typical 1961 D Lincoln cent in extremely fine condition is worth between $190,000, depending on its surface quality, color, and whether it shows any original mint luster. Coins with heavy scratches or discoloration may stay closer to face value, while clean, well-detailed examples can attract a little more interest from beginner collectors. The value may not seem large, but these coins represent an important chapter in U.S. coinage history, bridging the early copper alloy years with the later zinc-based cents introduced in the 1980s. While most 1961 D cents are common, a few rare varieties or minting errors can significantly raise their value. Some collectors look for doubled die obverse or reverse errors, off-center strikes, die cracks, or other unusual features created during the minting process. Coins showing clear doubling on the lettering or the date can sell for several dollars or more, depending on visibility. If a 1961 D cent has such a feature, even with light scratches, it becomes far more interesting to collectors than a normal example. Another factor affecting value is the coin's color and preservation. Copper coins naturally change tone over time, developing shades of brown or red-brown. A 1961 D penny that retains much of its original red color can be more desirable than one that has turned completely brown. Collectors often pay a premium for red or red-brown examples in high condition, especially if the coin shows only minimal marks. Keeping the coin in a dry, stable environment helps prevent further oxidation or discoloration. Even though the monetary value of a 1961 D Lincoln cent in extremely fine condition is modest, it remains a small piece of American heritage. It features the beloved image of President Abraham Lincoln, symbolizing honesty and unity, along with the stately Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, representing American strength and remembrance. These coins have now circulated for more than 60 years, and finding one in such good condition is still satisfying for collectors. If you own one, handle it carefully by the edges to avoid adding new scratches. You can store it in a coin flip or holder to protect it from dust and moisture. Do not try to clean the coin, as cleaning often removes its natural surface and can lower its collector value. For most examples, professional grading is not necessary, but if you ever suspect you have a rare error or a proof-like piece, having it authenticated by a grading service such as PCGS, NGC, or ANAX can confirm its true worth. In summary, the 1961 D Lincoln 1-cent coin in extremely fine condition, even with a few scratches, generally carries a collector value between $200,000 in today's market. It is not considered rare, but it is still a charming vintage piece of U.S. coinage. Those who love Lincoln cents appreciate these coins for their beauty, historical context, and the connection they create between everyday change and America's story. Keep an eye on your collection, because even a simple 1961 D penny can remind us how history lives on in the smallest of things.